Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we are good to go.
Okay. Great. Awesome. Welcome everyone. We'll get started here in just a few seconds. Make sure everyone's signed on here. Great. And go ahead and cool. Welcome everyone. Really excited to have Aayushi joining us from the ZeroSwap team today. A little bit about this Q&A is it'll be about 20 minutes long. If you have questions throughout, drop them into the YouTube chat, and we'll be able to get to those at the end. Goal of this Q&A is to learn more about ZeroSwap, all the very cool things that they are working on, and to learn more about the integration between ZeroSwap and Chainlink. So without further ado, yeah, thanks a lot for joining us in your evening.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me today for this
Yeah, it's great.
AMA. This is the first AMA, and when I was thinking that I have to go for a live AMA, I wanted to tell my community that I'm a real person. Like 50% of them come and ask, like, "Are you for real? You really?
The community's asking where the team is. Yeah,
Yeah, are you for real? Are you a human?"
it's great.
So
Yeah, like
yeah,
there's not a whole lot. It's definitely like shifted. I feel like even more so with the COVID and everything that's happened, there's a lot more anonymous teams. And it's kind of shifted. Everything's virtual, so it kind of opens up the door. You don't have to go meet people at meetups in person and different things.
yeah, that's true. That's true. In fact, ZeroSwap is also completely remote, right? Like I work from North India. Most of my team works out of southern part of India, so we're all working remotely. A couple of people work out of Singapore, so
Yeah, how many people are on your team now?
yeah. So we are a team of 12, and then a couple of freelancers are also working for us.
That's great. Cool. Yeah, so for the audience who might not be aware, do you want to maybe just introduce yourself and introduce ZeroSwap and what you guys are building and working on?
Yeah, so I have been into crypto for almost 3 years now. Since 2017, I've been in this space, and I came to know about Bitcoin when back in my college days, I was working for a freelancing project, and somebody on Elancer actually paid me in BTC, and I'm still holding them. So that is how I entered into the space, and since then I've been working with a couple of projects, and then I started ZeroSwap. So the vision to start with ZeroSwap was primarily, there are a lot of decentralized exchanges and DEXs have a product market fit. So DEXs are one of these products where it's actually the backbone of DeFi, I believe. And there are very prominent issues with on-chain transactions. And if you see, gas cost is one of the major problem, and then trade fees another bigger problem. So one day, like I was swapping Visa, Mastercard. So if you go to a store, say you go to Amazon, or you walk in, or you go to any grocery store, you swap a card, right? But you're not worried about the fee that you'll have to pay. It's the vendor who has to worry about the fee, right?
Hmm.
So here, the major problem is that when a user is using a platform, he has to worry for the fee he has to pay. So I think it's high time that these DeFi platforms who are earning a lot of money should incentivize the users by paying the gas cost on their own pocket. And this is where I thought, if what if I build a platform, or what if I build a DEX which provides such good value to the user that the user should not be worrying about the gas cost. And I'm sure a lot of people are trying to solve this problem in the space, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to balance out the value proposition, say how Amazon does it. So Amazon make money from one business, and then they make sure that a product is delivered to you in one day, right? It's like Amazon Prime. So I'm going to deliver a Prime experience to my customers, so I'll charge from, say, one product, and then I'll make sure that my other product, which is the main product, say for example Amazon e-commerce is the B2C product that they have, and which comes at zero cost. So with ZeroSwap, we have this vision, right, where we will make sure that Z has enough value which can actually compensate for the gas cost and for the trade fee, so that users can simply trade on any decentralized exchange through our interface. So this is what primarily ZeroSwap is all about. So the core features are, no gas, zero gas basically, and that's where the name also comes from, and no trading fee basically. And then we are also decentralized exchange aggregators. So you can trade on Ethereum dexes, you can trade on Binance Smart Chain dexes, and then you can trade on Elrond, and then Polka Starter is what we plan to integrate.
Got it. Yeah, I really love how you're taking, really going down to the root of the problem, but taking a more holistic approach at why these gas fees are a problem and how it relates to some large businesses that we currently use in our every single day lives and how they approached similar issues. So that's really interesting. You mentioned Elrond and Binance Smart Chain and Ethereum and how this is a DEX aggregator for all these chains. And so the platform itself is built on Binance Smart Chain. Is that right?
No, so the platform itself is not built on Binance Smart Chain. So the platform is like an aggregator. So it's not cross-chain, so it's multi-chain. So in one UI, you trade on, say, Uniswap, and within the same UI, you trade on PancakeSwap. So we're an aggregator. So if you need best and better rates for trading, if you need to access a larger order book, so we'll split the orders. Say you want to trade, or you want to trade 50 Ether at once.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure even if people are trading on Binance, they place the order in parts. They'll maybe break the order in 10 Ether, right? Because they don't want to go down to the order book. They don't want bad rates, right? So even this problem exists in decentralized exchanges as well. So if you go to Uniswap, you might not want to trade 10 Ether at once because you know that you might get really bad rates because of low liquidity. So if you aggregate all the volume at one place, and let user trade on Ethereum, and let user trade on Binance, and let users trade on Elrond. So this is what we're trying to do. So I would want to give one more example and narrative. So we are one of those startups who are trying to enhance the experience over an already existing behavior. So consider booking an Uber. Instead of calling the taxi, hey, I am at airport, can you come and pick me up? Hey, how much time am I gonna take? Or maybe booking a cab 24 hours before, right? Back 10 years back, this was the experience. But people understand the need of taxis, right? Similarly, people understand the need of Uniswap. But what we are trying to do is we're trying to enhance it. We're trying to build an Uber, which is a better experience over an existing user behavior. So, we're going to enhance, we're going to build better UI, we're going to get better liquidity, we're going to reduce the friction, there are barrier to entry. You think twice, should I click this transaction? Should I actually press the button or should I reject the transaction? Oh, the gas cost is very high, I should not go ahead. This is what we do right now. So that is going to change with ZeroSwap. You'll not have to think even for a moment. Whatever transaction you want to make, go click and it's done.
Yeah, no, it's so true. Especially, I mean, it doesn't matter really, even how wealthy you may be. I think there was like Mark Cuban the other day that was even, he's like the gas fee like is like,
Oh my God,
no
gas
matter how
fee.
much money you have, like it's still like it doesn't make a whole lot of like sense when you have to see a thing and you're like, wait a minute, like I'm spending a couple $100 to do, what am I trying to do here? So yeah, no, that's fascinating. And I see now, so aggregator, what makes ZeroSwap you the most unique compared to some of the aggregators? Is it the gas fees, or what else kind of goes into it?
So whenever anybody asks me like what are the unique features, so I think in any startup, whether it is blockchain or whether it is any traditional industry startup, say any financial startup, okay, what has Stripe achieved? Stripe has reduced the barrier to entry to start an online business. Okay, it's just a click away. I want to start an online business in US. I want to start accepting money in US. I just need to, pay $250 to Stripe, and then I can set up my bank account within a minute, right? Or not within a minute, maybe half an hour or 1 hour, right? So they have reduced the barrier to entry into an ecosystem, and that's why a lot of people want to move their small businesses to Stripe now. And this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to reduce the barrier to entry into decentralized exchange ecosystem. So barrier to entry is our gas cost, barrier to entry is straight fee, and it's also liquidity up to a lot of extent. It's also liquidity which is not available on decentralized exchanges. So if you aggregate liquidity, you reduce gas cost and you reduce trade fee, then user will feel easier, he'll feel lighter, he'll not have to think, oh, okay, I should go and use Binance, I should not really use Uniswap. So this
Yeah,
is what
no,
we
completely.
make
Yeah,
this.
yeah. It's crazy what will happen with the centralized exchanges too when there's stuff zero swap that's coming out, and yeah, it's really going to disrupt everything almost as we know it at the time, and it's really fascinating. Um, I imagine with this, so oracles will be essential for gathering the prices. How does Chainlink and ZeroSwap work with each other, and how's the oracle work within ZeroSwap?
So I've been speaking to a lot of Oracle companies. We're also partnered with a couple of other companies as well. But we decided to go with Chainlink. The reason is it's very simple. First of all, I'm really fascinated with your development, with your website, with your documentation. It's really good. My developers really said it's like whoa. They told me it's whoa. The documentation is really good. Things are good. Team is really good. That's one part. The other part is the tech, which is really, really good in terms of Oracle. Chainlink is, I think, the prominent player to provide accurate price feeds. I think the entire ecosystem of DeFi is using Chainlink. So why not to go with Chainlink, right? So we gave a heads up, and now how we're going to use Chainlink is two aspect. Number one, number one is we are using Chainlink VRF. So VRF is a random number feed. So, you know, we have a platform called Zido. So Zido is a zero-swap DEX offering platform. So I see a lot of IDO platforms on chain these days. There's Polka Starter, there's DuckDAO, there's TrustSwap, there's Bounce Finance, there's like mushrooming of IDO platforms. So what role Chainlink play here is a lot of people want to participate in public sales, right? Blockchain has opened the opportunity even for a common investor sitting at any part of the world to own a piece of token, to own a piece of stock of a good company based in SF, or a company based in Malta, or a company based in Singapore, right? So I think and I believe that users should have a fair opportunity to buy that token, even if at the time when it is getting launched. So the most important role that Chainlink is going to play here is the random function. So in Zido, in ZeroSwap DEX offering platform, a user will come, he'll simply click a button that, hey, he wants to participate in, what's your name? Kenan, right? Yeah. So if he wants to participate in token sale of Kenan, and he simply clicks on the UI that I want to buy this token, and then there is a Chainlink powered VRF, and there's a random function which decides who won the lottery, and you simply take away Canon token. There is no whitelisting, there is no unfair opportunity, there is no way I can do any manipulation at my platform that I like Canon's friend, so I would give money to Canon, like I'll give token to Canon, I'll put his address in the whitelist. That's not going to happen now. So on ZeroSwap, it'll all be fair.
That's really cool. Okay, so that makes a lot more sense, and really it allows fair access for anyone to be able to participate in these, and it's all provably fair. Has anyone launched, or are there teams that you're working with that are currently using that feature?
Yeah, so we are launching. So we announced our first IDO yesterday, which is Odds Finance. So they're doing a dual IDO with Polka Starter, and they're also launching with us. We have partnered with them. They're an options trading platform. So we would integrate them in our upcoming aggregator, where people can actually options are like buying an insurance along with the car premium. So people would be able to trade on options on the aggregator platform.
Mm-hmm.
So we have
If a team is kind of building a project or starting a project right now and they're looking to get on there, what's the best way for them to get in contact with you? Are you reaching out to the teams yourself, or is it more inbound teams coming to you saying, hey, like we really want to launch this project, kind of looking for a platform like yours, and they come to you?
So I think it's both the ways. So
Yeah.
I am also looking for interesting projects to work along with, because I believe a lot in compound interest, and how what Charlie Munger says, right? Like I really believe in longer interest. What I have seen is, all other IDO platforms compared to us, they simply launch the token, and then they would never even talk about the product. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a long-term association. I would see, how can we provide them any benefits in terms of technology, any benefits in terms of marketing and community establishment, in terms of building trust. So this is how we're working on, and that's why we partnered with Odds. We could have easily done only an IDO with them, but we thought that they're really a good team, and we should partner with them, and we should provide their product offering with ZeroSwap as well. So it's both the ways. So if we find out a good project, we reach out to them. Otherwise, I have like a lot of requests. My inbox, since I announced yesterday, my inbox is all full. So people are
Yeah,
reaching out, they
for
want to do
sure.
distribution.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's really cool. And is there any sort of, I guess, whitelisting or due diligence that goes on your side, or how do you know if the project has long-term viability? I guess like one of the things that you see on like Polkastarter and some like the other kind of like launch pads, Trust Swap is like another one. Um, how do you know like protecting people that are investing in these, if that makes sense, and that the project doesn't just
So one of the foremost, one of the most important priority that I have is my community, right? Like like whenever somebody is coming and talking to me, they're saying like, how come you're active 24/7 in your community? Like you being the co-founder, how come you are replying? Don't you have moderators? Don't you have admins? And then a lot of people say me that, go to influencers. I think, a retailer is the best influencer. Even if somebody is holding one Z token, he's the most important influencer for me, because if I have his trust, he'll go and talk to 10 of his friends, and we all have friends in industry, we all have people. And if I find a good token, I remember I met Chainlink team back in like 2.5 years back. I also have a photo with Oliver, I think. So and then I also met them in last year in Denver. So if you know about a good team and a good product, you always pass it on, right? So I always say that, I don't need an influencer. A retailer is my best influencer, right? So how do I make sure that my customer is protected? The best way is, it's simple. I use maximum 8 to 10 products in a week in the entire crypto world. I would use, say, Binance, Bitmax, KuCoin, MXC exchanges. I would use Trust Wallet. I would use IAM token. I would use MetaMask. You name me any product that you use. If I'm only talking about the B2C space, you name me more than 10, 15 products which an average DeFi user actually use in a week. Unless you're like a geek and you want to use Instadap to move your positions here and there. So now, how I judge projects, I see, are they building something which is usable in longer run? Are they building something which is really good for an end user? So this is how my due diligence work with. And then obviously there's tech due diligence, there's team's background, and what kind of experience they have. At the end, even if the idea is good, the execution part is most important. So I also see, what is the team's vision behind. Plus I also look up to, what kind of benefits my community can get. So, what kind of price exists at the public sale, what kind of money they're looking to distribute. Obviously, if you're looking to distribute tokens only to 200, 300 Z holders, I might not be very interested, because I would spend all that similar time and energy, and probably empower 1,000 users who are holding Z tokens to participate in an IDO.
Mhm.
So these are the things, and these are pretty basic things, right? It's
Yeah.
not something like a rocket science.
Yeah, no, that's a great way to put it. And for everyone that's joining right now onto the YouTube too, and asking Zedu, and so Zedu is the platform by ZeroSwap, and correct me if I'm wrong here, that uses Chainlink VRF to provably secure that it's random for someone joining one of these token launches through your platform. And so teams can come through you and be able to basically bootstrap their project to be able to get launched and get people using it, and then be able to get right onto an AMM and get some liquidity, and people being able to be on the platform. So yeah, really fascinating stuff. Hey, one question here from the community too is, how are the recent laws of India with cryptocurrency? How do they affect ZeroSwap? I know you're a global team, but what do you see kind of happening in the ecosystem where you're located personally, and around that with your project?
Yeah. So see, first of all, we are a remote company, and we are also registered globally. So we have an entity in Singapore, we have entity in BVI, we have entity in India as well. I would not deny that. But as of now, things are pretty clean. They are crystal clean. They are as white as milky white. So everything is sorted, unless media do not create any negative vibes in the market. I know there is a bill in place, but how things work in India is there's a lower court, there's a lower hearing authority called Lok Sabha, and then there is Rajya Sabha. So, where all senior politicians sit. So first of all, the bill has to be passed by parliament, and then it goes to upper parliament house, and then it goes to the highest court in India. So it's a long process, and there'll be discussions around it. Plus, you can always challenge whatever laws or whatever bills are passed. You can always challenge it in the upper court. This is exactly what happened when it got banned some time back. So the Reserve Bank of India, they actually told that you can't do trading, exchanges cannot operate, and that's how Unocoin or even Zepe shut down. But eventually, those laws were taken down by the highest court. So court always has an authority to decide what works good for the citizens of India. So I'm sure that things would turn out positive. And as of now, we first of all we are building a decentralized product. So, that's the beauty of building a decentralized organization where you're not bound by law. It's a software that you're running. But having said that, we are completely legally compliant. We're also working along with lawyers, and we're working along with, KYC and AML bound companies to protect any sort of frauds in our system. So I can assure safety. That's all I can say. There's nothing to worry.
It doesn't make sense in another case of the Western press, if I find it a story, but yeah, it sounds similar to when someone passes a law here, submits a proposal for a law here or legislation in the United States, has a lot of hoops that it has to jump through and usually changes quite a bit by the time. But that's great to hear, because I know it was a concern, and it is decentralized world in all these products. So it's like, how do you really stop this going? But that's good to kind of hear from someone that's there themselves. Cool. So to wrap things up, do you have any asks from the community who may be listening in, maybe that are part of your community or not? Anything that you want to be able to say to them or ask to kind of help progress you forward?
So I would not say that you buy or sell or think of token at all. I would only say, so whenever somebody is coming in talking about the price and all that, I know the sentiment involved. I know people have put money and they're always concerned what's going to happen. But I can only give you one commitment, which is I would build a product which would really, really change the life of an average DeFi user, is what I'm aiming. Having said that, this industry is the most experimental industry I've come across. To get a product market fit in this industry is really tough because things change within a month. There was no concept of IDO say 6 months back, but they're now right now in the boom, right? Everybody wants to launch their tokens via an IDO. So things change a lot, but I think that talking to blockchains directly should not be very complex. It should be easier, it should be simpler. It should be like swapping Mastercard or Visa to send money here and there. You should not worry for the cost. So this is what I'm trying to build, and I just need support of community, and that's all.
That's great. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, the community really appreciates people that are building in this space, and that's what's going to get them through whenever the next cycle starts. If people want to follow your progress, talk to your team, get involved, what channels are you on, and where can they follow you?
Well, we are on Twitter, we're on Telegram. We are mostly organizing an AMA around ZeroSwap Dex offering platform on our Reddit. I'm pretty active. We have an announcement channel, we have a website, we have a newsletter which we spread across every month. You would be surprised, like we launched our newsletter and our email subscription 15 days back. And till date, we have 7,000 plus subscriptions, and we
Oh,
actually sent our one. We actually sent first newsletter, and we have more than 50% people who opened it. So that's something which I think people really want to know what we're doing.
yeah, that's a huge community. Nice, yeah.
Yeah. So today morning I woke up and I thought, okay, let me open Mailchimp and see, how many people actually open the newsletter, and number was like 4,000 something something, and I said, oh my god, out of
That's
10,000 emails
impressive.
that
Yeah,
get sent,
it's a good
4,000 plus people have even
great.
opened the email. That's crazy.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I'll make sure to drop all those links for everyone who's listening in into the description afterwards.
Yeah, sure.
Otherwise, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I would do that. Let me search. Let Give me a moment. I would just I would just give you all those.
Yeah, you can just share them with me after, and then I can drop them into the description as well for everyone. right afterwards, and they'll be up a few minutes shortly afterwards. Um, Otherwise, yeah, everyone that's also listening in, Chainlink Hackathon starts on March 15th. Highly recommend everyone sign up for that. There's a lot of ways to participate, whether you're a developer, an engineer, maybe you're a designer, maybe you're good with business development. There's a lot of ways to be a part of a hackathon team, the best projects, I'm telling you, are the ones that are well-rounded teams. And so there's definitely ways to participate. If you have an idea that you've been wishing someone built and it hasn't, Chainlink Hackathon is a great place for you to be able to start and go and share those ideas. And as always, if you like this video, go ahead and click the like button and subscribe to the channel for when we go live in the future. And otherwise, yeah, again, I really appreciate you coming on here, and yeah, have a good rest of your day, and good luck to ZeroSwap, and excited for what you guys have going.
Okay, thanks. Nice talking to you, Ken. Yeah.